Welcome everyone to this exciting chapter of Power BI, which is our chapter 6 of the Power BI course. So by the end of this chapter, you should be able to create and design a report that looks like this. That's what you've been seeing on the screen. So yes, stick with us as we'll show you how to get to this end point. In this chapter, we will focus on designing comprehensive report or one report for you. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to combine multiple visualizations into a single report, format and style your reports for clarity, and add interactivity to enhance your user experience. So, on Power BI, as we've been chatting, when we look at chapter 1 up to chapter 5, you will see whenever you start with Power BI, now we want to design a report. So on the screen, we want to go to a blank report. So let's just follow on. So also on your side, it would be great if you're also doing this while we are chatting. So you can also open up your own Power BI and we go step by step so that you can also follow on the screen as well. So what we want to do, we want to get our data. We want an Excel workbook. And then what we want to do, we want to go onto our fetch our data, our customer file with spend and demographics. It's busy loading. So this is the point whereby you have to be patient. It seems like Power BI is quite awake. Now we want to select on the navigator pane our data. So over here, we can actually just make sure that it's the actual Excel file that we had, and if it's the columns that we've been seeing on our data. So we can see a date column, a customer ID, monthly spend, gender, age, as well as province. So we are quite happy with this data. If we needed to transform any data, we would then transform data. So you can also check here if you don't want to take the extra step before loading, you can check here if are there any blanks or any data that you need to fix. If you're all happy with that, then the next step is to load your data. It's busy loading and it's saying creating connection in model. So one of our chapters also focused on modeling, so you can check it out on the description below. So we have our 200 rows added. As you can see here on the data pane, you can see it's kind of like loading. So it's going to show us, there we go, customer spend. As you can see over here, these are all our columns: monthly spend, age, customer ID. So remember the symbols here, this shows that this is a numeric, also age, customer ID. Then we have our date as a date, so it's correctly formatted. If it was not, we would then go into more options, and there's actually a way that you can also determine your different I think I did it in the previous chapters, where you determine your data format. So once you have your data, you can actually look at your data format as well. So you can see here we've got year, quarter, month, day. So this actually just talks to our data. So within the date data, because it's actually per day, but you can roll it up into month, you can look at it by quarter, or you can look at it by year. So we just close that, and then that's gender, and here it's province. As you can see, the other data columns don't actually have drill downs. Okay, so we're on our blank report canvas, and so just as a reminder, designing a report in Power BI involves combining various visualizations to present a cohesive story. So you can also add multiple visualizations to a single report page and arrange them to highlight key insights. So you first start off by adding a visualization to the report. So for our instance, we saw that we had date, and what do we actually want to do? So we want to probably look, so here, this is our report, there's different pages, so you can create page 2, 3. So when you export this, is going to become a PDF file with different pages. So we want to go back to page 1. So you can also delete the pages. Say, yeah, I want to delete the page, Yep, let's also delete that one. So now our report will only have one page. So what's also great here, you can have a desktop layout view, or how people actually view it on mobile. So if you wanted to then take this onto mobile, you could click on mobile and activate the mobile design. So I think it's busy loading as usual. The mobile layout. Let's just see. Just untick it. Go back to mobile layout. Oh yeah, we first have to visualize something to see the mobile layout. But basically, this is how the mobile. So now we're on the desktop view back again. So we had a date. So we probably want to see how our sales or what's the revenue you've been getting from customers, maybe by date. So by that, so there's different visualizations that you can use. But I mean, that's theory that you can also kind of polish for yourself to understand what type of visualizations do you use for certain elements of data. So now, because we want to trend and look at it over time, a line chart is always good to use because you want to look at the lines moving, you know. So we first click on our visualization, and within the visualization, maybe we want to bring it down. So this is our whole report pane. We want to bring it down here, and then we want to drag it. So it doesn't have data yet, but we're just dragging it just to make it ready. So in order for us to get data, we've got it selected. So if I select away, as you can see, that fell away our visualization axis. So you have the x-axis as well as the y-axis. So you can say within your data what you want to see on the y-axis or what you want to see on the x-axis. So in our x-axis, we probably want to see the date. So we want to drag, as you can see here, I went and dragged it and pressed it and just drop it onto the x-axis. So now it's busy reading. As you can see there, the heading says year, so you can always change your heading. Let's see, it seems like okay, we've added it, but we don't have anything on the y-axis. So we probably want to have our monthly spend on the y-axis. We just throw that over there, and there we go. So now we have our line from 2010. So this is the year 2010, revenue going up. Then all of a sudden, revenue in 2025 is down. But I guess because these were full years probably, and now, I mean, this is already an insight that you can probably have already within the story, because 2025 hasn't come to an end. But we could predict that the revenue would go up, because I mean, it's been going up each year, when in 2020 going into the different years, 2024. So at the end of 2025, it might go up. So probably you'd want to see your data differently. Let's say, so here there's a next level of the hierarchy. Let's just go on the next level. So let's just check what that does. So you can also see it by quarter. So this combines all the years and just says, out of all the years, how to perform each quarter. As you can see here, quarter 4, you're always performing well. So now we're still discovering what kind of view do we want to have. And then there's monthly, if you wanted to see it per month. But that'll be great if maybe you would filter and say, I only want to see a certain year. So let's also use the filter function and say we want to see a certain year. We can drag the year and put it under our filter. And then here on the filter, we want to say basic filtering. So for the basic filtering, you can actually select the year. So let's say we want to only look at the year 2024. So all our data now will be based on 2024. So I guess let's leave it that way. We have the monthly. So we've been asked by the business, as the analyst that you are, or part of a project, to say, let's see for the year 2024, how did we actually. So remember, the filter for this is 2024. And then now, what we also want to see, we probably also want to see the total sales as well. So what we're going to we're going to click on card. So we can drag the card and probably say, let's just put it there in that corner. So that's where it will be in our report. So on this card, it currently has nothing. So if we select, we want to bring in a field here. So we can also drag probably monthly spend and say total monthly spend of 23 million. But is this 2024 No, so we want to drag the year into the filter and say, let's add the filter here. Remember, we said basic, not advanced, and we want to go to 2024. So it'd be great if you're also following on your side. So this is the beauty of Power BI, where you're exploring as you're going as well. So I'm here to actually assist you in that and speed that up. And I guess you can also go back and, check it out more. So it has actually changed our total sales within 2024 to be 2 million. Okay, that's fine. So that's 2 million that we've had that year. So this 2 million obviously here has been shown per month. Revenue has been going up, with December showing higher sales. Cool. Now we can click on the side. So what other visualization would we want to have? So within our data, we know we have monthly spend age, we have province, we had date, we had gender. Do we want to see it probably by gender, and let's see maybe what's the, sometimes you can also click on the actual column and it will generate a suggested visualization that you can have. So currently it's giving us a table. So this table, if you click on this table, it currently only has just as a table, but we can change that and say probably let's see it as a pie chart, where we're going to see the distribution amongst genders, what percentage did females contribute and what percentage did males contribute. So you can use a donut or you can use a pie. Let's use a pie chart. Let's make it smaller a bit. But you can see the pie chart only has gender. It doesn't have any other, stats. So we want to bring in sales. So we want to say monthly spend. We can drag it under the values. As you can see, there we have it. So this is total sales for females and males. But as you can see, it says 11 million for males and it says 13, but our total is 2 million. So what might be that case? Yeah, so we can remember we applied a filter where we want to only look at 2024. So we want to go back to our filter. So we have this selected. We want to open up date and say year, drag that over there and change that to basic filtering. Then we go on to 2024. Now it's split it and it does kind of make sense. So where now it's been split between males and females for 2024. So we can also change and see if do we have any. So you can go into your own visualizations and say, let's format this visualization and see, let's say general and data format. So it's currently giving us let's see if can we get to decimal number, and we can say how many decimals do we want to have. We want to have 2. Okay, so now it's giving us decimals, so it's actually 2.49 million. I guess that's why here it's also showing. So we also want to come over here. We already selected that. We want to format and say data format. So it's currently showing as text, but we want to format the sum, so the amount, to decimal places as well, just to get accurate information. Yeah, now it does seem it's coming up. So it's actually 83,000, for the males, not exactly a million. And then for the females, as you can see there, it's 1.66 million. So great, we have our pie chart. So in our data, we also have age. We probably also want to see by age. Let's click on age. So now it gave us just a bar graph, so that won't work. Let's change it to a donut chart. Then it's currently showing the sum total of all age groups. Maybe that's not what we want to see. Let's see if within age so it's just giving us the values. No, we want to put age as the legend, and then we want to put sales as the values. Great, so we can see 32-year-olds contributed the most if we wanted to see that. And maybe in our report we also want to have a title. can actually bring this down a bit. So as you can see, I was using my keyboard. We can actually drag this down, align it, and then we can also, if you select that, you can also change, format a lot of things like the title. Let's maybe change the title, go to title, and let's say total monthly spend by month. As you can see, it changed over there. And so this we also want to change, format, general. We want to go on to title, no title, but it's currently showing us that the format is fine. So here there's a title. We can change this title to monthly spend by agenda. So guys, it'll be great to also follow on, but you would get, like ahead of this once you do it often. We can also change the title. So what's great here, it remembered when I was on this visualization, this is the pane that I was in. So even if I click on the next, it will still kind of land on the same one. So here, monthly spend, maybe not monthly, rather spend distribution by age. Cool. And what we also wanna do, so within our report, this now would look like a dashboard, which is just a one-page report. So we can also add a slicer. So a slicer would help if we wanna, slice and dice our data. So what we wanna do here, we wanna just make it small, maybe put it there in the middle, and say, let's say we wanted to slice our data by, let's say, month. Okay, let's just go back to our slicer. Or by gender, let's just say by gender, something that's simple a bit. So what we want to do, we want to change how our slicer looks. We want to go there, we want to go format, slicer, we want to drop down. Okay. So drop down list. So when we click there, we can say, just check this female. This whole dashboard now changes to female. It shows the females total sales. So the age just by females, also the month just by females. So everything changes. We can also say, let's just see by male. As you can see, males only shopped in Jan, June, November, and December. Quite makes sense if you kind of bring it into perspective. Females are quite, the shoppers within households. And here, the data is already making sense. So let's go back to say, let's just tick on females, and now it's showing us total overall dashboard. So we've got our visualizations there, where it's currently now showing us, our report. And what now we want to do, we want to actually see how this report will actually look. So you can also say mobile view. Let's auto create a mobile layout. So within a mobile, like it can become a mobile app, you'll see total sales. Now you can see that visualization spend by gender, spend by distribution, and also by month. So it'll be great to probably share to, your executive team within a company where everyone or teammates, where everyone is on their mobile, but also on your desktop, it will become this full screen. So now let's say we wanted to export this into a PDF file, whereby we can share it with a couple of people using email. So we can say probably export, then we say exporting, generating a PDF of your report. So this is actually mimicking how the PDF will look. So this is how the PDF will look. Now it's actually opened up, as you can see on screen. this is our report that we've created. Isn't this great? So this is currently our dashboard that we've created. We can share with others, actually showing all our visualizations in one simple report. So thanks guys, I hope you're going to achieve the most using these functions, and just exploring as well within Power BI, and all the best for your future learning.